President Biden now the first incumbent not to seek re-election since Lyndon B. Johnson in 1968. But his campaign kept insisting he was in it to win it just hours, sometimes even minutes, before Biden posted a letter announcing his exit.
Joe Biden has said he is in this race. He is in this race to win it. He is instructing us to continue to carry out a plan to make sure that we are communicating it to as many voters as possible.
Absolutely, the president's in this race. You've heard him say that time and time again. Joe Biden is more committed than ever to beat Donald Trump.
I want to be crystal clear. He's made a decision, and that decision is to accept the nomination and run for re-election, win re-election. And I think that there are those out there that need to hear it again, that he made a decision. He's going to be the candidate.
Not that crystal clear. That crystal needs a little Windex. President of District Media Group and fellow at Independent Women's Forum, Beverly Hallberg, joins me now. Beverly, how bad a look is it for Democrats that apparently key campaign staffers had no idea the announcement was coming when it did?
I don't think it's a good look, but nothing about this is a good look. And I don't think we're surprised that the Biden campaign, including Joe Biden himself, has been very defiant in his statement, saying, I am going to stay. I am running. I think that's normal for many candidates to be optimistic about what's happening, but there's a lot behind this. I don't think we look at this and think this is a decision by Joe Biden or Hunter Biden or Biden camp at all. This is coming down to what is a disastrous campaign for many reasons. And of course, it all started out with that disastrous debate roughly three and a half weeks ago. And I think we can safely say at this point that the debate between President Biden and Donald Trump is the most consequential presidential debate in American history, more defining than the Kennedy-Nixon debates in 1960 that are often mentioned. And I'll tell you this, Todd, the news cycle is just crazy these days, and it's not stopping anytime soon.
It's not. This Politico article, I think, is telling. It says, alone and abandoned, Biden learns that friends are more dangerous than enemies. Beverly, can voters trust a party and those that clearly run the party? I'm looking at you, Barack Obama, maybe to a lesser degree, Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi. But can they trust a party that stabs its leader or its ostensible leader in the back like this?
Well, I've talked to many Democrat friends over the past few weeks, and they keep saying, what is going on? Everybody knows that there is chaos behind the scenes. And you do have, since this announcement by President Joe Biden saying that he's stepping down from the campaign, that the Clintons are supporting Kamala Harris. You have President Obama that's not. And even before this, you have the op-ed by George Clooney that's out. There have been so many factions in the Democrat Party when usually they're very united. You can even take a look at Nancy Pelosi and those on Capitol Hill. She's been able to whip them together in the past. So to see these types of divisions, not only is this leading to Democrat voters being concerned, wondering whether or not the party that says they're going to save democracy is actually subverting democracy by how this process can play out, but it also makes it very confusing for the media. How should we cover Kamala Harris? She is not a compelling candidate. She is not popular. So if they're going to do these glowing spreads of her talking about how wonderful she is, trying to push her into the spotlight as someone who can take the torch and move forward from Joe Biden. Here's the problem. If she ends up not being the nominee, what does it do at that point? So Democrats, I think, are going to have to make a decision very soon because they have a lot to convince the American people of.
Let's not forget how vibrant, Beverly, we were told one Joe Biden was literally up until a couple weeks ago. Watch.
I would put the president's stamina, president's wisdom, ability to get this done on behalf of the American people against anyone.
If there ever is a problem, do you think that you could go tell the American public? Do you think in your role that you're in a position to do that?
Of course, if necessary, but there's no need for that.
No need for that, Beverly. If Kamala ultimately is the nominee, will voters punish her for misleading them?
Well, yeah, there's this aspect where Kamala Harris, who has been very public about having these weekly luncheons with the president during their term, if she has been saying that there's nothing to see here, that he's as sharp as ever before, but yet not only do we see it with our own eyes that that's not true, but now we know that he's being pushed out. He's stepping down to his cognitive decline. The question is, did you really try to protect this country based on that? So she has a lot of questions she's going to have to answer on that. And here's the thing. I think one of the smartest hardest decisions President Biden ever made was choosing Kamala Harris as his VP. And the reason is there is one person that is worse at communicating than President Biden, and that is actually Vice President Kamala Harris. She has been an insurance policy for him, job security for him, because I think she would have been moved into this position far sooner if she was at all a more effective communicator. So she has an uphill battle. She does not have the support as far as feeling good about her by Democrats, and I'm not quite sure how they thread this needle. A lot is up in the air. I think many people are wondering how this is all going to land.
And let's not forget that Obama, Pelosi, Jeffries, Schumer, Durbin have all not yet come out and endorsed Kamala Harris. That's telling you something. Beverly Hallberg, thank you for your insight. We appreciate it.
Thanks.
As Democrats are